Correct me if I'm mistaken, but that looks like Haruhi Suzumiya from the uniform.
Taking a sword out of her badge.
Yeah,
Why?
I don't know, but that looks like Haruhi, doesn't it?
Yeah. Either Haruhi or one of the other ones.
Sounds like you need caffeine in your blood.
Yeah.
And it's what time over there? It's noon?
2 o'clock, yeah. My medicine makes me sleepy.
Oh.
One of the many curses of having epilepsy, my friends. Epilepsy and anemia.
Oh wow, that's interesting. That's loosening it rather than tightening it up.
Super Bow. When I say fishbowl, I mean it's more of a virtual fishbowl. Kind of like a, eh, there's no possible way I could have a fishbowl big enough to have 65,000 titles to draw out of a hat. So I've got a specialized program that randomly picks a line out of a text file, which has every single game that I've cataloged. And it took me about 3 months to put it together. Best of all, I don't have to take requests.
If you want to take a request, you can, but it's not something that's obligated. Fuck obligation.
Fuck the police.
I mean, I get requests all the time in the chat room, and I'm sorry, but I'm sick of certain games. I'm sick of hearing about certain games. Oh, you should play Last Ninja, or oh, you should play Ocarina of Time. Everybody's played them. Everybody's played them on streams. Everybody's played them in Let's Plays. For God's sakes, there's more games out there. And
But they're
yes,
the best
a,
games in the world.
and yes, a good chunk of them suck, but you're going to find a gem sooner or later. And the gem does not say Legend of Zelda on it, or Last Ninja, or Mario, or even Metroid.
Did you just say Last Ninja?
Yeah,
There's a 50 Shades of Grey on V. Visual novel.
No, no. You've been asked to turn this into a video. What genre of video would it be?
Space opera RPG.
Oh, that Mass Effect, because those books are equally gay.
Visual novel. Make it a GTA Hitman-like game, you know I'm right.
No, just make it a torture game.
What way you have to read it?
Hmm.
a torture game based on 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh, wait a minute. Torture happens anyway, so that would be perfect.
No,
Yeah,
you
it
now got...
takes her to be beaten within an inch of her life to figure out that something's severely wrong with him.
So you got... Okay, you got me thinking now. How about a variation of Takeshi's challenge?
Takeshi's Challenge. Takeshi no Chosenjo. Yeah.
You,
Uh,
yeah, a variation of that, where you are forced to keep hold of the controller but not press anything, while you have someone just just a rendered a rendered model of someone reading 50 Shades of Grey in the most boring monotone voice. And to keep you listening and to make sure you're paying attention, include QuickTime events to where you're forced to press the controller button at a certain time. It'll give you an on-screen indicator, but you have to press it, otherwise you have to start again.
From the beginning.
No, no, gotta give them a little bit of a little bit of leeway. Checkpoints in the form of
That'll be Hepler's dream come true.
checkpoints in the form of chapters. Once you finish a chapter, you reach a checkpoint and you can start again from that spot.
She
But
seems to
you
like his tie a lot.
and for the achievement
50k.
whores and for the achievement whores in the audience, how many chapters are in the book?
I don't know.
Don't have a clue. We've not.
Although we have spoken to someone who's in that particular community, and he's a Dom, and he's actually told us there's been quite the outrage in the BDSM community over this book because of how inaccurate it is and how misleading about their community it is. Because he said that the first bit that made him just close the book and put it down for a while was when it was like there's a bit where there's a contract he asks her to sign, which is fucking ridiculous. And then when she refuses, he's like, oh, it doesn't matter anyway, and they go about their business. And he was explaining to us that the contracts are there to protect both the submissive and the dom, and there's no way, and the contract was extremely unrealistic, not to mention illegal. And he said the one bit that made him almost throw the book out the window and he had to go for an extremely long walk to calm down was the bit where it reveals his deep dark secret that his stepmom or whatever
Oh my god, spoilers!
was a sadistic dominatrix that abused him when he was a child. That isn't how it works.
You can read in 50 Shades of Grey. Prepare for your sides to leave this mortal coil. In his palm to shine silver balls.
Yeah. I think that's what made people laugh the most. Next to
Okay, I'm gonna have to
Goddess was dancing.
Hmm?
I'm gonna have to ask in the chat room how many chapters or how many pages this book has in order to complete this thought that I have in my head regarding a torture game.
It goes over 3 books.
Superbo, we're talking about 50 Shades of Grey, and I'm thinking about this idea of a torture game to where if you survive to the end, you get 1,000 gamer points. You know, just one
Achievement
achievement.
unlocked. Paid attention for the first chapter. Paid attention to
I've got a crazy idea regarding achievements. You know,
yeah.
you would get 1,000 points for finishing the book, but for every chapter you would get a 0 points achievement, kind of like Quake 2.
Mm.
Because Quake 2, when it didn't have any achievements, but it did have the usual badges for, oh, knocked the microphone. It would have the kinds of badges, I guess, to where you would get an achievement, but it would be 0 points. Okay, have those as the chapter finishes. You get an achievement that doesn't equal anything, but you finished it. So yay. Super Bow. Yeah, I get that. I just haven't ever heard of the book in question, but it sounds bad. Um, it's as bad as it sounds. If you thought Twilight was bad, dot dot dot.
Then think about someone writing a fan fiction about it.
Because this is basically a adult Twilight adult version of Twilight with bondage content. And E.L. James clearly didn't do her research. And it's got the particular community in an uproar over it. And E.L. James is selling this shit as a young woman who finds her sexual freedom.
Freedom.
She only changed the fucking name so she could make money off it and not get sued by Stephanie Meyer. And apparently, just by reading it, you can tell who was Jacob, who was Edward, and who was Bella. It doesn't matter about the name changes. Apparently, you can tell.
Okay, I'm going to ask both chat rooms this, both Avian and Lord Cat. I has an insane idea for a game based on 50 Shades of Grey, but having not read the book, I has no idea how many chapters are in the book. I asked the chat if anyone has read the book from start to finish.
What?
Don't forget the Gilbert Gottfried edition.
Oh my god. If that does become official, he's getting all my fucking money.
My sights have gone far past terminal velocity. Oh god, sides.exe has stopped working.
Yeah. I was almost dying at that one.
Dumbledore wants someone to murder me for that.
When the Gilbert Gottfried one was playing, I was double tell you, I felt like I was dying.
Super Bow, I don't... So he's asking if it's a vampire bondage book. I hear it's just a bondage book.
It's
Yeah, it's
not
just
actually
bondage.
vampire.
It's just based on the Twilight characters. Because I'm not sure if you... Because as Reese and John will know, all it's done is basically, imagine it's basically Daria, but taking it out of that universe and putting it into another one.
Just taking the people themselves, no supernatural stuff, just taking the actors and placing
Just
them in a
basically
bondage.
taking the characters as they are.
Oh,
Putting them
okay.
in another situation and then calling them completely different names to avoid copyright.
It's
I
been dubbed quote
see.
unquote mommy porn.
Well, isn't pretty much any supermarket
Yeah,
not is pretty much any supermarket novel basically mommy porn?
basically it's in supermarkets, music stores, game stores, everywhere. You can't fucking miss the piece of shit.
Well, I can because I haven't really left the house
And to
except for to look for a job.
and to quote G, if this is all it takes to get housewives all fluttered and excited, then they should just go back to their mills and boom. Because he agreed with me on the fact that 50 Shades of Grey is an accident waiting to happen. I know that sounds dramatic and whatnot, but all it takes is for a wife to turn around to her husband who wants to spice up their sex life. Don't bother doing the research. about how it's supposed to properly do stuff. Oh, let's try doing this. And like many first timers who do stuff without properly going to the right people, asking advice and shit like that, they end up in ER. And they're either injured, mutilated, or die. That's that I could see that's going to happen.
FPS 50 Shades of Brown.
Ugh.
Just typed in the Lord Cat chat where one guy said, please murder Reese Kane. Anyway, I just typed out, it'll be on the stream later, but my idea revolves around a torture game where the player is forced to watch a rendered model, read the book out loud, and include checkpoints and QuickTime events. Upon finishing the book, the player gets 2,000 gamer score. I doubled it. It's the 2012 equivalent of Takeshi's Challenge.
Or better yet, they at parts when it comes to sex scene, the person themselves has if the person's got to connect, then the person has to read the sexual parts.
No, that would probably be too much. However, if you do have a
That'll be
Connect,
like on hardcore difficulty.
maybe a hardcore difficulty, maybe as a DLC hardcore content, Connect required, um, and you're forced to okay.
Read the sex scenes
No, no,
that
no,
it will literally come up with the words on screen, and you've got a certain amount of time to read it.
Then
no.
And
I've got a better
on
idea.
insane and on insane, you have to get the right tone. You can't just say it monotone. You have to sound like you're enthusiastic about it and shit.
I think I've got a better idea. With Connect, you would be forced to feel yourself up during the sex scenes.
Oh!
And because the Connect records you during your best moments, it would upload you feeling yourself up to a site where it would be viewed on a leaderboard.
Oh, dear God.
Superboat, please don't compare it to Daria. I love Daria. I love Daria too. I mean, check out my DeviantArt page for fuck's sake. So I guess you're not looking for jobs in supermarkets. I tried Kroger. I don't think they're going to hire me back. They got that stupid test that you got to fill out just to see whether or not you're the Sieg Heil type of employee. You make sex sound very, very dangerous. It can be, depending on if you're in bed with the crazy kind of chick. Is there a UK equivalent to a woman who is notorious for being dangerously kinky in bed? Not counting porn.
Oh, no, not really.
not spot
As far as I know, the
the
terms are universal.
the term batshit insane is hardly singular in terms of where it's used.
Yeah, true. Kinky little minx.
Japanese 3D sex sim. It will have the best animations and voice acting ever, and an extremely in-depth character customization system, and any kinks you can think of.
Written by Hepler.
Wait. However, the gameplay will be so difficult it'll be impossible to fact while you're playing it. We're talking QWOP Hip Thrust Edition. There will be no mod SDK, and the rendering engine will even block screen capture tools from grabbing frames.
Oh, wow. And have you seen my charger?
You be down here.
But yeah, I pretty much borrowed the Connect idea from my Bad Baby idea from 2007, 2008.
Sorry about that.
When was it that George Carlin died? Because I remember putting up the idea on Screw Attack as a tribute to George about a week after he passed on. I think it was 2008. But yeah, for those that are they're watching and have no idea about the crazy crap I put up in on the blogs, there was an idea I put up for a video game called Bad Baby, where you play the role of a 47-year-old semi-retarded, very very alcoholic, with a adult baby fetish.
Sorry.
And I thought that was a sign that I should stop. But yes, it would be kind of a TMNT arcade style beat 'em up where you would go down you would go down streets and people's houses, uh, beat up enemies with uh, the usual punches, kicks, and you can use weapons like beer bottles painted to look like baby bottles, horsey shurikens, ninja stars in the shape of little horsies, and you could attack with your own loaded diaper. Just swinging around like a double dragon baseball bat. Just swing your loaded diaper around. Now, obviously, it would be positioned in a way to where you would not see the naughty bits, but yeah.
How many cosplayers were there at Comic Con?
Yeah. A harem.
And after a while, you could charge up a little charge bar, and upon using it, you would unleash your Sonic Man Baby Cry, which I will demonstrate far away from the mic.
Welcome to the crazy hour.
It's 9:20 a.m. It is nothing but crazy here on Twitch.
I'm gonna call there.
Call a taxi, sure.
Ass Clown Jr. says, change it to My Immortal, then it's gold.
Might as well be. Hey, come taxi, please. 25 Richards Walk. Sainsbury's, please. Yeah, please. Thank you. Bye.
One primary question I have about the whole 50 Shades of Grey thing is the fact that when
Those my earphones or
no,
yours?
those are mine. Those are yours. Is that there's feminists that claim that porn is demeaning to women. Porn is demeaning to women.
But they like this book.
Yeah. Or oh, games are sexist. Games are sexist against women. Yada yada yada. And then what do they praise an erotic novel about? A
Antoine,
woman being dominated by a man.
who's clearly insane.
I'm sorry, but uh,
Yeah. Something is wrong with this picture.
yes, something is very wrong with this picture.
Molecular!
For those looking on the stream, yes, I did look for that. Could not find it.
Gritos benditos.
Yeah, I definitely need to use.
Usual L Shift O, Shift 2, 50 Shades of Poop. comma 8, comma 1. Could not find it. I blame myself. Okay, what was I doing? Oh, right, I was about to pop in a Commodore game. Attach cartridge.
You shimmy, get off it! Play with the hair.
For those in the chat that have never heard of Yoshimi, it's a little tiny kitty cat that loves to hang out inside of a jacket hood, especially when the wearer is wearing it. And when you see it, oh, it's so cute.
Although she's getting a bit big for hoods now. And heavy. And practically strangles me when she tries sitting in the hood.
See, I can say that because my
Ready for the
cat's not
head?
in the room and won't be jealous.
Ready for the head? Ready for the head?